Yep.
What did he do? What happened?
It is a beautiful evening here at Robertson Stadium. The sun has set and the lights turned on. It is Friday night football here with your 2-2 PCC Lancers taking on the 2-2 Moorpark Raiders. Hi, my name is Daniel Peters, and I am super excited for another rendition of PCC football. It's been a great season thus far, and the Lancers are looking to bounce back after a tough loss to the Antelope Valley Marauders last week, but they're looking to take a victory here against the 2-2 Moorpark Raiders and get back in the win column. So now we're going to look back on this season so far. We're going to go back to week 1, where the PCC Lancers lost to the Cerritos Falcons. It was a really good game and a great start to the season. A lot of positives come from that one, with Anthony Arnaud having 269 passing yards, Joaquin Elliott leading the game with 79 rushing yards, and Jason Sanford putting on a game with 80 receiving yards.
Special Friday night edition of Lancers football.
Now going on to week 2 versus Santa Monica, the first away game of the season and the first Lancers victory with them taking it 27-20. Arnaud had another great game with 122 passing yards, and he also led the game with rushing with 53 rushing yards. Jason Sanford yet another tremendous game, 137 receiving yards. This is the season high, and they had 10 first downs, 4 sacks, 2 interceptions, with 8 penalties against, 50 total offensive plays, 3.9 average a game. A great, phenomenal game. That one, this is against Santa Ana Dons. Another great game with 122 passing yards, and he also led the game with rushing with 53 rushing yards. Jason Sanford, yet another tremendous game. Looking back to Santa Monica, this was their away game, the second week of the game, their first victory to put them at 1-1. 4 sacks, 2 interceptions.
Today's game officials.
Anthony Arnaud had a great game that one. Sadly, in that game, he got injured and had to sit out the Week 3 game against Santa Ana.
Line judge, Sean McGurran. Head linesman, Emerald Hassan.
Now here's a Santa Ana game where they took on the Dons with the SoCal Bowl matchup. They had 10 first downs, 4 sacks, 2 interceptions. There are 8 penalties and 50 total offensive plays with a 3.9 average yard per game.
Head coach Mike Stewart. And directing the Lancers, head coach Robert Tucker.
Now this is last week's game against Antelope Valley. This was their second loss this season, them losing 27-14. Jacob Doolittle performed tremendously, the 104 passing yards. Isaac Glover led the team with 45 rushing yards. And Jason Sanford, yet another great game with 51 receiving yards. He's been their go-to guy so far and looking to have another great night tonight against the Moorpark Raiders. So we're excited for this one, and we're going to take a great nice look at the PCC marching band who are here tonight to perform before tonight's game, which is supposed to be a good one against 2 great teams, both 2-2, both looking to get to 3-2 on the season. So now here's a look at the PCC marching band. We'll be playing as the Lancers run out tonight, and here they are. So here they are, your PCC Lancers, as they take the field tonight against the Moorpark Raiders. The captains of the PCC team will come out there for the coin toss. Captains are led by number 44, Michelangelo Loretto. Number 5, Mark Anderson the third. Number 14, Ivan Ostry. Number 13, Jacob Doolittle.
Moorpark has won the toss and
Moorpark wins the toss and elects to receive.
And at this time, we ask that everyone please rise as the PCC.
So now as the captains run off the field, we will lead you to tonight's national anthem.
Kickoff first. O-line on the bench. O-line. O-line.
So now a guy to look out for tonight's game is number 21, Jason Sanford. He has 11 receptions with 294 yards, 73.5 yards per game with 4 touchdowns on this young season. He has been the go-to guy so far with both quarterbacks, Anthony Arnaud and Jacob Doolittle. He's a 5'9", 180-pound freshman out of Pasadena. Hometown kid looking to make an impact on tonight's game against the Lancers and the Raiders. So here come the Lancers kicking off to Moorpark. That one is off. Moorpark receives the ball at around the 5-yard line. Coming out at the 20, 25. Still on his feet, tackled around the 28. So now comes out the PCC defense led by number 44, Michelangelo Loretto. He's the captain on this PCC defense and on the team entirely. He has 11 tackles on the season, 4.5 sacks with 5.5 tackles for loss and 1 forced fumble and fumble recovery. He leads the team in sacks. He's tied with number 24, Carlos Ramirez. So here come the Raiders, a handoff up the middle. Finds a little wiggle room, but is eventually taken down around the 31-yard line.
You gotta communicate, okay? You guys have to talk, okay? Now protection-wise, want to make sure we understand that.
Number 15, McLeod Croughton, is out there tonight at quarterback. He's been switching here and there with number 10, Bennett Johnston.
Okay?
So we'll be seeing who's in there for the Raiders tonight.
The triangle right here. Okay, if this guy's in tight like this, we insert into the triangle. Okay, we're man's up, or this is 1 and 2 for the running back. Okay.
Now Crouton in the backfield. Man motioned out right, takes a snap, hand up to the left, but is swarmed right as he got the ball and taken down for a loss of yardage. The PCC defense showing some strength in the early parts of this game. The strong defensive line led by, once again, Michelangelo Loretto. A loss of 2 on the play, and now 3rd and 8 from the 30-yard line. The snap to Carlton. Whistle dead. And a timeout taken by the Lancers in the early stage of this one.
We got to make sure we push back. Okay? And if it's 190.
So the first timeout taken already in the early stages. There's 13:25 left. So wondering what that was about. Probably some miscommunication on the defensive side. Wanting to re-talk it over. Now the PCC defense has been a great one so far. They've really shut other teams down and have showed that with allowing very little points per game so far. So far in the season, they've only allowed 24.3 points per game. 18 total sacks, total tackles 159 with total tackle for loss at 36. So they are a force to be reckoned with as they force an early 3rd and 8. Crouton in the backfield, takes a snap, looking to throw, under pressure, taken down for loss of yardage, and the first PCC sack of the early stage of this one. That was a sack by number 27, Jalen McGee, as he gets in there to force a 4th down on the first drive for the Raiders. So here comes the Raiders punt team. Number 49, Tony Johnson, punting for the Raiders, gets that one off. And that one will bounce innocently out of bounds at around the 35-yard line. So now after forcing a quick 4 and out comes the PCC offense. Now this PCC offense has been tremendous. 294.8 yards per game with 113 rushing yards per game, 181 passing per game. They have 24.8 points per game. See that, 727 yards passing in total with 452 rushing yards in the 4 games so far this season. So they are a team to be reckoned with. We'll hit you with both sides and both parts of the offense, passing and rushing, as PCC gets that one out too far to the right. So starting the game off for the Lancers tonight will be number 2, Anthony Arnaud. He's been a guy that's had to sit out a couple of games, is in and out due to injuries. He got injured in the Week 2 matchup against Santa Monica, had to sit out with the rematch of the Santa Ana Dons, but he's back. He was back last week, and he's back this week starting. He'll now be 2nd and 1. Snap, handoff. Taken down quickly. We'll see where the refs spot it. And that'll be enough for a PCC first down. Number 0, Joaquin Elliott, taking that one. He's been a great guy. He's part of the dynamic duo in the backfield for PCC. He has 32 attempts, 130 yards, 32.5 yards per game. He has 0 touchdowns, but he's mostly been used in the middle parts of the field. So first down for the Lancers from the 46-yard line. Arnaud takes a snap, looking to throw. Under pressure, ball's tipped out of his hands. Finally whistled dead. A little late whistles by the referees, and we'll see what they say. So that one will be ruled as an incomplete pass with forward motion in the arm of Arnaud.
action, number 54, Amari Thomas with the breakup.
So number 54, Amari Thomas on the breakup in that one. So Lancers will be met with the long 2nd and 10. Arnaud takes now a little shovel pass. That went to Ivan Austri, who takes that one up the left side for a gain of about 1 yard.
He's tackled on the play, number 34, Ty Eli.
So Lancers have gained 1 first down in the drive so far, but they've hit a standstill, hit a brick wall with this Raiders defense right now. We'll see if they can overcome this and get the 39. An offense that has been phenomenal in both parts of the offense with passing and rushing. They have a lot of yardage in both areas. Both quarterbacks and both running backs have been tremendous so far. And the snap to Arnaud a little low. Looking to throw, under pressure, has to run around the pocket. Rolling out. That one completed. It's number 7, Isaiah Smalls, the big tight end from Dorsey. Coming out from Dorsey High School, Los Angeles. That'll be past Isaiah Smalls, enough for a Lancers first down. So they overcome the 3rd and 9. And are now put in a position with the 1st and 10 from the Moorpark 41-yard line. First and 10, the snap to Arnaud, throws it out right. Quick throw, a spin move. But is quickly tackled again for a gain of about 3 yards. That pass was completed to what I believe was number 1, Isaac Glover.
He's tripped up number 13, Daniel Pierce. 4 yards on the pass, brings up a 2nd and 6.
So 4-yard gain brings up a 2nd and 6. The Lancers looking to capitalize on a quick 4 and out by their defense, and are putting pressure on this Raiders offense so far. Arnaud with 1 man behind him in the backfield, takes a snap, looking to throw again. Throws it out left, it is caught. Evades 1 tackle, breaks another one, and is finally taken out around the 30-yard line. That pass completed to number 87, Cameron Woods, who is a man to be reckoned with in last week's game as well. In last week's game, he had 2 receptions for 39 yards, so he has been utilized in this offense so far, and is being utilized once again tonight.
Tackle on the play, number 22, C.J. Jackson.
Lancer offense lines up once again. 2 receivers out wide right. Man put in motion. Snap and a handoff. Taking up the right side. Enough for the first down. Taken down around the 27. That one carried by number 1, Isaac Glover. Went to Burbank High School out of Reseda. Now they're set with the 1st and 10 at the 28-yard line. The Lancers have utilized their offense so pretty well so far in the early stages. It's been a big part of their game plan, and every week as Arnaud takes a snap, hands it off to number 0, Joaquin Elliott, and he spins and he gets a few yards in the play. He'll set up on the 2nd and 8.
Hand off to number 0, Joaquin Elliott. 91, tackled by number 91, Robert Ruggiero.
So once again, their offense averaging per games is a 294 total yards. That's average for the 4 games so far this season, just shy of 300. So they have been a force to be reckoned with moving the ball downfield, and they do so very quickly. Arnaud lining up. The snap, looking to throw. Looks left, throws it. And that one is caught. Number 16, Oscar Willis, catching that one for a PCC first down.
Number 16, Oscar Willis.
And a big gain for the Lancer offense.
Lancer's first down.
So now they'll be set up at the 14-yard line of the Raiders, putting pressure on this Raiders defense, looking to score on the first drive. That was a 12-yard reception to Oscar Willis. And now they're set up inside the red zone. Man put in motion. Handoff up the middle, but no room to go. Taken down quickly for a gain of nothing. That was Joaquin Elliott on the handoff. Not able to find any room. Now, in order to run the football, you have to have a great offensive line. The Lancers do have a great offensive line. They've been tremendous so far. Once again, going back to what they're averaging per game, it's 113 rushing yards averaging per game, which is something not really seen from many teams. It's been great so far, and they've utilized it well. Austri put in motion. A fumble by the Lancers, but that'll be jumped on by Anthony Arnaud, but a Lancers player is down. That's number 69, Eric Contreras, who is down on the field. We'll hope he's okay, but while we wait, let's talk about the background between these two teams. So PCC coming off 2 wins in the weeks 2 and week 3, but they lost last week, a 27-14 loss to Antelope Valley. So now they're looking to bounce back, get into the win column tonight against Moorpark. Whereas for Moorpark, they've been going back and forth between wins and losses from week to week. Now they're coming off a win against Grossmont College, where they won 32-24. However, they're 0-2 on the road, so looking to finally win one tonight against the Lancers. Both teams have a decent amount of history between each other. Their overall record between each other is 3-6. So Moorpark has the better of the Lancers so far. Their last meeting was in 2015, where PCC lost 52-26. Before that is in 2014, where PCC lost in overtime 23-17. In 2013, PCC lost again 31-15. And now we take a look at number 69, Eric Contreras, who is walking off the field. We hope and pray that he does well and he gets good recovery and he's back on the field shortly. You never want to see a player down for either side, and it's good to see him walking off the field under his own volition. But now after that quick timeout, the Lancers offense comes back out looking to score. They're put back. It is now a 3rd down from the 20-yard line. Snap by Arnaud, under pressure, rolling out right, throws it. It's one-handed behind the back catch, but tackled for no gain. So now that'll bring up 4th down for the Lancers, and we'll see what they do. Most likely to bring out their field goal unit. And that is what they do, bring out the field goal unit. To attempt to put 3 points up on the board with 5:31 left in the first quarter. So Justin Vergara is the kicker for the Lancers. The snap, the hold, the kick. That one has the distance, and it is good. So the Lancers put 3 up on the board in the early stages with 5:17 remaining in the first quarter. So after driving down the field, they were stopped and held, but Justin Vergara says, don't worry. And he puts 3 up on the board to give the Lancers an early lead. And that's exactly what they need. The Lancers strive on scoring early and scoring quickly. And they're looking to do that. PCC so far has lost all 4 appearances against Moorpark in the 2010s. So going back to 2010, they've played Moorpark 4 times and they've lost all 4. Their last win was in 2009 when they played on Halloween night, with PCC winning 27-20. They also won the year before in 2008, with PCC winning 24-7. And since 2008, the record against Moorpark is 2-4. And the 3 other games were held before the year 2003, with PCC taking 1 and Moorpark taking 2 others. And here's the kickoff. Vergara kicks it off. Daniel Pierce looking to return, number 4. And Raiders take it, going up the field, still going, tackle down around the 30-yard line. So after a great kickoff return, Daniel Pierce takes that one back to the 30-yard line and sets up the Moorpark offense in a good position to march down the field. Now this PCC defense now has been phenomenal. And yards allowed in total, they allow 285 per game. Rushing allowed per game is 83.8. Passing allowed per game is 201.8. And points allowed per game is 24.3. As the defensive line moves around before the snap and looks like they get some Moorpark offensive linemen to jump. And that'll be a false start on the Raiders, and they'll be moved back 5 yards to set up a 1st and 15. So this Lancer defense, their defensive line moves around, gets someone to jump as the Raiders take a snap. That one's Croton, and he passes a pass complete around the 40-yard line, and that'll regain the penalty yardage and more. So Croton's pass completed number 1, Blake Batars, and that'll set up a 2nd and 2. 2nd down and 2. Crown takes that one. A quick pass, almost intercepted. Almost intercepted by number 5, Mark Anderson, the 3rd. But that'll bring up a 3rd and short. So let's see what the PCC defense lines up for this one. Looking to bring about another 3 and out. Hard snaps by the Raiders, and it looks like they got one of their own guys to jump off. So that'll be another false start, and that'll bring them back another 5 yards. So it was once a 3rd and 2, is now a 3rd and 7, so it makes it a bit more difficult. And a break for the PCC defense, not jumping on the hard counts. The Raiders get themselves on their own trickery. Now here comes Crown. Man put in motion. Takes a snap, looking to throw. Under pressure. Just gets that one away, incomplete. So that'll bring up a 4th down. Having to evade those big guys up front for the Lancer defense. So yeah, another 3 and out. And the Lancers will get the ball back. Number 49, Tony Johnson, is going to punt the ball off for the Lancers. PCC has 2 returners in the backfield. They're looking to get underneath one and return it for something. It's Ivan Austri and Joaquin Elliott back there to return. That one's kicked off. And that'll be too short to return, and it'll bounce around the 40-yard line and picked up around the 41. So Lancers offense will come out at around the 41-yard line. They have a 3-0 lead going into their 2nd offensive possession. There's 4:20 left on the clock for the 1st quarter of this game. A 27-yard punt. Here comes the PCC offense. Now, we've talked about their star and Jason Sanford. Now, we've also talked a little bit Arnaud. He's a 56.8% completion rate on 81 attempts, 513 yards total in the season, 3 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. He takes that one, throws it. That's caught by Isaiah Smalls for a gain of about 6. So Arnaud has been their go-to guy at quarterback's position. Like I said, 513 yards, 3 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. He's battled some injuries, but he's come back in tonight's game, making the start. But other weapons they have for their offense is the dynamic duo in the backfield with Isaac Glover and Joaquin Elliott. They pretty much share attempts. Glover, 40 attempts, 158 yards, 39.5 yards per game with 4 touchdowns. He's been carrying the load on the offensive side. He's tied for the most touchdowns on offense with Jason Sanford as the snap is taken, a handoff. That was number 1, Isaac Glover. Moves around a little bit, but eventually taken down for a loss of little. For a gain of little, excuse me. So that'll bring up a 3rd and 1. Just as I was talking about him, Isaac Glover takes a snap. He has 158 yards, like I said, 4 touchdowns, so he is tied for the most with Jason Sanford. But the other guy in the backfield, number 0, Joaquin Elliott, 32 attempts, 130 yards, 32.5 yards per game. He does have 0 touchdowns. He's looking to do that tonight. The handoff, a lot of room to run. And the Lancers get a big gain coming off a Joaquin Elliott rush. The offensive line opening up the waters for Joaquin Elliott to run through, and he has a big run of 12 yards. So now a 1st and 10 from the Raider 39. One man behind Arnaud, takes a snap, looking to throw. Steps up in the pocket, throws it deep for number 16, Oscar Willis, but not able to get under that one. Ball is thrown just out of bounds. Great coverage by the Raiders defense. A big attempt for the Lancers. Looking to make some fireworks here. That one drops innocently, and that'll bring up now a 2nd and 10. Oscar Willis, who that pass was intended for, is another guy who's been great. 8 receptions, 103 yards in the season, so he's also in the 100 mark. Receptions. Arnaud takes that snap, throws it right. Completed, but the receiver evades a tackle and runs backwards. It looks like there's a scuffle, there was a fumble. But looks like the referees are going to call him down by contact before that one got loose.
There is no fumble on the play as the player was ruled down by contact.
So no fumble on the play. He was ruled down by contact, says the referee.
Arnaud's pass was completed to number 21, Jason Sanford.
That pass was completed to Jason Sanford, who evaded a tackle, bounced off the tackler, but ended up running backwards. So it was still a gain of about 4. Could have been a bit more, but it was a 3rd and 6 for the Lancers. The snap. Arnaud looking to throw. Rolls out left. Ink through the hands. That one is through the hands of number 14, Ivan Ostry. Not able to bring that one down on the sideline, and it bounces out of his hands into the hands of the Raiders defender, but eventually he is called out of bounds, so no interception. There is a flag, however.
Holding on the offense, number 71. That penalty declined, 4th down.
So holding a number 71 of the offense is declined, and it'll bring up a 4th down. But a coaching decision to be made, seeing as it's not close enough to punt. It's not far enough from the end zone to punt. It's not close enough to kick a field goal. So they're just going to keep their offense out there, see what they can do. So the Lancers offense lines up quickly. Expect some hard counts to come to try to draw on offsides. Arnaud takes a snap, looking to throw. Throws it, but incomplete, falls to the ground, and that'll be a turnover on downs. The Raiders will regain possession. And the Lancers will rely on their defense to get another stop. But you can see the trust coming from the Lancers coaching staff, the trust that they have for their defense. They're able to go for it on 4th down, on 4th downs like that, because they trust the defense will get stopped. So you look at the scoreboard, 145 left in the 1st quarter. The Lancers lead 3-0. And a 1st down for the Raiders at the 35. Throw out to the right. That one's completed, number 3, Christian Rivas. But he's taken down for little to no gain.
Crowden's pass completed to number 3, Christian Rivas Keener. He's tackled on the play by number 8, Roland K. Rodriguez.
So he's tackled by Roland K. Rodriguez.
27, Jalen
who's someone who's from Hawaii, who's come out to Pasadena to play football. A gain of only about 1, and now brings up a 2nd and 9. Crown takes a high snap, but hands it off. But nowhere to go. PCC defender swarming, but he evades the arm tackles and he eventually gets brought down. The carry with number 21, Gabe Landless, evades some tacklers, some arm tackles, and he's able to gain 5 yards on the play. What should have been no gain. He makes something out of nothing, and now brings up a 3rd and 5. Okay, 3rd and 4. Another handoff, some room to run. That's Landless again, and it gets a big gain for the Lancers, but penalty markers fly in after the play. He's brought down around the Lancers 45. We'll see what the refs have to say about this penalty marker. It came after the play, so it could have been something on the, could have been something due to the tackle, but let's hear what they have to say.
There is no penalty for face mask as he grabbed him by the shoulder. The result of the play is a first down.
So they pick up the penalty marker.
15-yard carry by Landless, tackle by Roland Aya.
And it'll now be a 1st and 10 from the PCC 45. So 15-yard rush for the Raiders, and they hand the ball right back. But this time the Lancers defense was ready for it, and they gain absolutely nothing.
Landless on the carry. He's tackled by number 30, Brian Payne, along with number 44, Michelangelo Loretto. 2 yards on the carry.
And now the first quarter is winding down, and that as the clock hits 0, so that's the end of the first quarter.
That's the end of the first quarter.
PCC leading 3-0 in the early stage of this game. A field goal by Justin Vergara is all that divides these two teams from an even matchup. So far it's been a game of defense. Both teams' defensives are proving their might so far, and they're playing tremendously well. The Lancers defense are looking to make another impact. Now we start the second quarter, 3-0 like I said. With the Raiders marching down the field looking to put points up on the scoreboard. Now the defense is led by one of their captains, number 5, Mark Anderson III, as we get a look at the amazing PCC marching band, who is phenomenal at every single home game there is. And as I keep saying in every game, that's what kind of divides college and high school sports from the NFL is the marching band and how amazing the atmosphere is. But as the Lancers defense comes back out, like I was saying, the leaders of this defense, number 5, Mark Anderson III, who leads the team in tackles at 17 tackles, 2 sacks, and 3 tackles for loss. They have been phenomenal in the season. They're one of the leading keys to their 2 victories so far. 2 victories coming off of Santa Monica and Santa Ana. As the referees are holding off play just for a little bit. It is a second and 8. Ball on the Lancers' 42-yard line. A little bit of confusion by the referees, but as they talk it out with one another, we go back to kind of the history of these two teams. Like I was saying, the last victory for PCC was all the way back in 2009. So over 13 years ago it's been since the Lancers have beaten the Raiders. As the whistles blow and play resumes. And now the beginning of the second quarter. 2nd and 8 for the Raiders. The snap is taken, a handoff, but nowhere to go. Tackled quickly. Almost immediately after the ball was handed to him.
Carry by number 9, Cameron Davis. Tackled by number 24, Carlos Ramirez.
So Carlos Ramirez makes the tackle. He's been another guy on the Lancers defense who is someone to watch out for. 9 tackles, 4.5 sacks, with 5 tackles for loss. He leads the team in sacks. He's tied with Michelangelo Loretto at 4.5. Man put in motion out left. Takes a snap. A screen play. Taken down back at the line of scrimmage, and that'll bring up 4th down. So the Lancers defense holds strong once again and forces yet another 4th down. So now the punt team will come out for the Raiders for the 3rd time on 3 drives. So not able to get anything going on the offensive side. They are having to rely on their defense to keep this game at where it is. The snap, the punt almost blocked. But that one will fall innocently into the end zone for a touchback. Just kicked a bit too much power into that one. And that'll be a touchback for the Lancers, and that'll set the ball at the 20-yard line. So Lancers offense is coming back out. We've talked about man and their leader so far, and we've talked about the main guy in receiving, which is Jason Sanford, but another guy to look at is number 14, Ivan Ostry, who's been elected as one of the captains of the offense, as Arnaud lines up with 2 running backs in the backfield. Hands it off, no, but it's a fake. And Arnaud takes that one down for a gain of 10. A big hit at the end of that one, showing his toughness. A fake handoff to one of the running backs even got me confused, and he takes that one for a Lancers 1st down. So 1st and 10 from the 30-yard line is where they will resume play. Isaac Glover and Joaquin Elliott both in the backfield. They're now switching sides. As we look at a replay with Arnaud just taking it to the hole and getting a gain of 10. A throw it to the left side. That one is to Joaquin Elliott, who basically makes it back to the line of scrimmage. So now going back to Ivan Ostry, who's been another guy for this PCC offense who's been tremendous. 9 receptions in the 4 games so far this season, 118 yards, 29.5 yards per game, and 1 touchdown. He's also been seen to run with the ball. He's been he's had handoffs plenty of times so far. He's even gone back at quarterback a few times to do some wildcat formation as a handoff up the left side finds a hole. That one's Isaac Glover for a big gain for the Lancers offense. Takes it to the other side of the 50. And now the Lancers offense looking to make one big. A run to the left side. Big holes opened up by the offense. By the offensive line. The big guys up front making a difference right now. So a gain of 19 for Isaac Glover. Tackled out of bounds by Daniel Pierce. So now a 1st and 10 from the 50-yard line. Exactly at midfield. Arnaud lines up. One man behind him. Ostry put in motion into block. Arnaud runs out left and just runs out of bounds at around the 45 for a gain of 5.
Anthony Arnaud with the keeper. Run out of bounds.
So Arnaud has been known to do that. The Lancers have been known to utilize their quarterbacks in the run game. In fact, he is 4th in line for the most rushing yards at 61. Now a bit more than that with this game, but 61 rushing yards on the season before this. So now a 2nd and 7. Takes a snap, a delayed handoff. That one is to number 0. Joaquin Elliott. He bounces out to the right side, but ends up finding nada, and in fact goes a little backwards. So loss of 2 on the play. It is now 3rd and 9 from the 49. So here they come in a definite passing position. Looking to gain nine yards to get a first down. Arnaud takes a snap. Play action, under pressure, gets that one off. And a man wide open down the field. Touchdown, Lancers. Their first touchdown of the game. And that'll put them up 9-0.
A touchdown of 49 yards.
So a touchdown of 49 yards.
Receiver number 16, Oscar.
So number 16, Oscar Willis.
Attempting the extra point, number 94, Justin Vergara.
And the PCC Lancers score the first touchdown of the game. The snap, the hold, the kick, and it is through the uprights to extend their lead 10-0 with 10:07 left in the first half.
49-yard touchdown pass by number 2, Anthony Arnaud.
A 49-yard touchdown pass from Arnaud to Willis.
And with 10:07 remaining in the second,
And now the Lancers have extended their lead even further.
Park 0.
And as we look at the replay, the Raiders put good pressure on Arnaud, but he's just able to find a wide open Oscar Willis. Was most likely some miscommunication in the backfield for the Raiders. Just leaving a man wide open. And the Lancers certainly take advantage of that one. That was Willis's first touchdown of the 2022 season, coming in this one at a vital time to extend their lead even further. And with their defense playing phenomenally so far, forcing 3 punts, they have no problems giving the ball right back. And here comes the kickoff. A little pooch kick to the right side. The Lancers have been known to do that. And a fair catch called.
Vergara's kickoff.
A fair catch called by number 5, Brian Skurlock.
Fair catch called.
And now Moorpark will take the ball
Moorpark will take possession.
at the 35-yard line. Excuse me, from the 30-yard line. So the Moorpark offense is coming out. The snap, the handoff to the left side. A lot of bodies in front of them, but able to find a little bit of wiggle room and a big collision at the end there.
Royce Pio on the carry for Moorpark. The tackle to number 33, Greg Vickers.
So Royce Powell on the carry for Moorpark and takes that one out.
2nd and 7.
Now a 2nd and 7 for the Raiders from the 33-yard line. Crowden puts a man in motion, throws it to that man in motion up the right side with a little bit of momentum, but tripped up and runs out of bounds, just short of the first down marker, so that'll be around a 3rd and 1. Now we've talked about the Lancers offense. Here are the Raiders offense. They've basically split time between quarterbacks between number 15 McLeod Crowden and number 10 Bennett Johnson, but Crowden has the start today, a 39.6% completion rate on 53 attempts, 218 yards with 1 touchdown and 1 interception.
Timeout. Moorpark. First charge, timeout.
And a timeout is charged to the side of the Raiders. Their first timeout of the game so far. So now we take you to one of the sponsors of tonight's game. A special thanks to Doghouse. Our PCC broadcasting crew sends out a big thank to our food sponsor Doghouse Pasadena at the corner of Hill and Union for craft casual gourmet hot dogs, sausages, and burgers. Check out Doghouse in Pasadena. So a special thanks to them Phenomenal hot dogs, phenomenal craft casual hot dogs and sausages and burgers, so go check them out if you can, as both teams are talking it over right now. And a look at the PCC marching band there. I will continue to hype them up as they are phenomenal.
October the 15th, a 6 p.m. kickoff.
So a 3rd and 3 for the Raiders. They're looking to convert here. Crowding in the backfield, some hard counts, looking to draw someone off sides, but the Lancers defense holds strong. Looking like they're going to bring some pressure. The snap, the throw, the completion, enough for a first down. So that pass was completed to number 3, Christian Rivas, who takes it for a Raiders first down.
Crowden's pass completed to number 3, Christian Rivas Keener. Back out of bounds to number 3, Osvaldo Regosa. It's good for a
Osvaldo Regosa, one of the captains, knocks him out of bounds. Now a quick throw to the right side, but some miscommunication between quarterback and receiver.
Number 6.
And it'll fall out of bounds incomplete. And that'll bring up a 2nd and 10 from the 41-yard line. Now in total, just in general for the Moorpark offense, 236.3 yards per game, 56 rushing yards per game, 190 passing yards per game, and they score 24 points per game. So they are a pass-heavy offense, and a running play, though, just as I say that, gains about 12 yards for a Raiders first down. So just as I was saying, they're a pass-heavy offense. They kicked that one in gear for roughly a 12-yard rushing play, and a hurry-up offense they have, and another handoff to the left side. Handoff to number 25, Royce Powell.
Another carry by Powell.
So here's that handoff play, runs the left side, but the Lancers defense is able to swarm for a short gain of about 4 yards.
For Moorpark at the Lancers 42.
2nd down at the Lancers 42-yard line. 2nd and 6. The snap. And the option play, but nowhere to run for Crown as he's taken down quickly. Lancers not allowing that. So that'll bring up a 3rd and roughly 5.
The keeper. Tackled by number 5, Mark Anderson, along with number 24, Carlos Ramirez. 3rd down for Moorpark.
So 3rd down, but the Raiders looking to have a little bit of a hurry-up offense, some hard counts, but the Lancers, once again, hold strong. The snap, the handoff, nowhere to go. He is swarmed for a loss of yardage, and the defense comes up strong once again to force another 4th down.
Brought down by the line of scrimmage by number 44.
So just like deja vu, out comes once again the Raiders punt team.
Set the punt for the Raiders. Number 49, Tony Johnson.
Number 49, Tony Johnson, punting for the 4th time. He is getting his work in here. Probably going to try to convince the coaches to not let him do conditioning for the next week because his legs are going to be tired from the amount of punting he's had to do. So here's the punt. To number 0, Joaquin Elliott, who was back there, but just lets the ball roll into the end zone. That'll be a touchdown, and the Lancers will take the ball out at the 20-yard line.
43-yard punt for Johnson. Lancers will start.
Now the Lancers offense comes back out. After a great last drive that put them up 10-0. A roughly 49-yard pass from Arnaud to Willis for Willis's first touchdown of the season. And now they're looking to capitalize and do something like that again. The snap to Arnaud, throws it out right. Pass is completed, number 21, Jason Sanford. That's his go-to guy on the season. Just video game numbers for that guy. Sanford, like I was talking earlier, he basically is our go-to guy in talking points. 294 yards on 11 receptions. And that was before this game. He is now adding to that total. The snap. Arno looking to throw. Gets it off into traffic and incomplete. That one intended for number 7, Isaiah Smalls, who was covered by 2 defenders. Arno trying to squeeze that one in there, but it falls to the ground instantly. And that'll bring up a 3rd down. So 3rd and 7 for the Lancers from the 23-yard line. As we look back at that one, Arno just trying to squeeze it in, and a big hit at the end of that one. Kind of stunned Smalls, but he bounces up, shows his resilience. The Lancers line up for a 3rd and 7. The snap to Arno. Roll, it comes in the pocket, decides to run with it, gets a big gain, still going, taken down at the 50-yard line.
Arno with the carry. Good for a Lancers first down.
But after that amazing run, Arno looks to be down, and that is not a good sign, as he's had to deal with injuries, and we will hope he's okay. That was a big hit at the end of that play, and we'll hope he's okay. Like I said earlier, he had a miss. He had a miss week 3 due to an injury that he had in week 2 against Santa Monica. He had to miss the rematch for the SoCal Bowl against Santa Ana Dons, but he was back last week and he's back this week, and now we hope that he's able to bounce up and be okay. And as we wait for a little bit, I'm going to talk a little bit about last week's game versus Antelope Valley now. The PCC Lancers ended up losing that one, but there was a little bit of history between the two, and the long history between PCC, which started its football program in 1925, and last week's competitor Antelope Valley, which started its football program in 1940. That was their first ever encounter in last week's matchup. Antelope Valley ended up taking that first encounter 17-14. PCC trailed the entire game, and turnovers were a big problem for the Lancers offense. The Marauders took advantage of 4 first-half PCC turnovers, which was a huge problem they had. And as we go into this week, some keys for tonight's game, especially on the offensive side, was minimize turnovers. They had 3 turnovers and 1 interception over the first 3 games of the season. The first 3 games, they only had 3 turnovers and 1 interceptions before their previous loss to Antelope Valley. However, they gave up 4 turnovers in the first half alone. As we look down on the field, Arno is able to get up, and with the help of some trainers, he's walking off the field and not allowing that left leg to touch the ground. Let's hope it's not his knee. Let's hope and pray that he is okay and he's able to get back on the field in a short amount of time. But now to replace him comes out number 13, Jacob Doolittle, who has been a phenomenal backup quarterback, a 34.6% completion rate on 26 attempts, 214 yards, 4 touchdowns, and 0 interceptions. So he now takes control of the offense as he takes a snap. And an option play where he keeps it, but is tripped up, I think, by his own player.
Doolittle on the carry.
So Doolittle carries that one, gains nothing. In fact, he loses 1 yard. Looks like he tripped on his own player. He tripped on someone, but nonetheless brings up a 2nd and 11 from the 49-yard line. at midfield. Man in motion, another option play where Doolittle keeps it running up the right side, trying to find room, but finds zip. So after Arnaud's injury, it's a little bit worrisome to see the quarterback of Doolittle running the ball, so let's hope he keeps himself safe and doesn't do anything unnecessary, because we can't lose him. So look back to the last play. It was an option play rolling out to the right, but just not able to find any yards. Looks like that's not going to work for them tonight. So we'll see if the coaching staff for PCC can draw up anything new and is able to get them some yards. The snap. Doolittle rolling out right under pressure, but is running backwards the wrong way. Let's see what he can do. Finds someone downfield, but throws it just behind him. After an incredible scurry around defenders, Doolittle was able to get the ball off, intended for number 14, Ivan Ostry, but it's thrown just behind him. Just look back at that one, the pressure, but just the vision. And a very risky play to run backwards like that, but he's eventually able to get it off. But a punt now for the Lancers. Punting the ball off for the Lancers, that was number 96, Nate Sanchez, who gets that one off. He's been a great punter so far, and he pins the Raiders back deep with that one. The 21-yard punt, and that'll lead Moorpark with the 1st and 10 from the 30-yard line. So now the first half is coming to a close with 3:50 remaining on the clock. We look at some of the keys that they have to do for tonight's game, and they have been doing. They've held them to 0 points. With pressure coming from the Lancers defense. Gets the ball off. That one's number 14. Number 14, Alexander Kapka-Jones, who collects that one. Enough for a Raiders first down.
15 yards on the catch.
So 15-yard catch. Looks like Moorpark might have found something in the passing game. A pass out to number 21, Gabe Landless, who stays on his feet and collects a Raiders first down. So after a really tough first couple of drives for the Raiders offense, it looks like they've got something going here with the passing game. They've got 2 first downs on this drive now. A 1st and 10 from the 44. The snap. Under pressure, taken down. That's a sack for the Lancers. Couldn't have come at a much better time.
5-yard loss on the sack.
Taken down by number 27, Jalen McGee.
Lancers 49.
McGee has been one of the top guys for the Lancers defense. 10 tackles, 9 assists, 3.5 sacks, and 6 tackles for losses. We see him get back there and record yet another sack. It looks like a timeout has been taken on the field. So a timeout has been taken. And we'll look back to some of those keys for the defense, which they have done so far. It's a goose egg on the scoreboard for the Raiders. On the defensive side of the ball, they got to set the tone with stopping the run game, which I would say they've done a decent job about so far. So far, they've allowed roughly 43 yards, just about. But they have a tremendous defensive line and linebacker core, and they've got to set the tone with stopping the run game. And stopping the run game will also allow the DBs to make more plays. Interceptions have not been a big thing for this Lancer defense, but if they can't stop the run game and force the Raiders to throw more, that'll set up more chances for the backfield of the defense to get interceptions, as a throw by Moorpark is complete. A pass from Crowden, number 1, Blake Batars, is good enough for a Moorpark first down. Excuse me, a third down due to the sack by Jalen McGee. That now sets up a 3rd and 2 for Moorpark. The snap, the handoff, and finds a hole, and a big gain for the Raiders. That'll take them down to the 24-yard line of the Lancers. So having the stop the run game was something I was just talking about, and they give up a pretty big run, but nothing to be worried about.
13 yards on the carry. 1st and 10.
The clock has just hit 1:30 remaining in the first half at the 23-yard line of 1st and 10. The snap, looking to throw, chucks it up for number 14, able to snag that one, and that'll be a Raiders touchdown. So number 14, Alexander Kapka-Jones, a 23-yard touchdown reception for Alexander Kapka-Jones, and that brings now the score to 10-6 with 1:16 remaining in the first half. Number 48, Daniel Burke, is set to kick this ball through the uprights. The snap, the hold, the kick, it is up, and it is good. So that brings the lead of the Lancers down to 3 points, now 10-7, with 1:16 left in the second quarter.
And with 1:16 remaining in the second quarter, the score, the Lancers 10.
Now with 1:16 left, the Lancers will kind of have a tough time finding any chances. Let's see what they do here. They have 1 timeout left. If they can get a big kickoff return, that might set them up beautifully for something down the field. But let's see what they decide to do. If they decide to try to march down the field and maybe put 3 up, or if they just played safe with the run game. Something the Lancers offense, after last week, like I was saying, is minimize turnovers, which they've done this game. No turnovers so far. Another focus point is they got to spread the ball around. They've got to get more people involved, and they've done that pretty well. They've got 3 receivers over the 100-yard mark already. They have several weapons on the offensive side of the ball as they set up, and the kick goes off. A pooch kick to the left side, and a fair catch is called by number 87. That's Cameron Woods. So like I was saying, they have several weapons on the offensive side of the ball, and they've got to focus on spreading it around. They got to focus on throwing to the several wide receivers that they have and give everyone an equal opportunity. And as well as throwing, they got to utilize that dynamic duo of Glover and Elliott in the backfield. And if they can do all that, they sure as well set themselves up for a victory here tonight. With 1:16 left in the second quarter, Doolittle takes snap and just hands it off for a gain of about 1.
Carry by number 1, Isaac Glover.
So carried by Isaac Glover, and looks like the Raiders will take their second timeout. So the key to this remaining drive,
Timeout charge to Pasadena. Tackle on the last play by number 11, Luis Ortiz. Gain of 1 on the
so now with that timeout, PCC and
down to 31.
and beyond, the Career Exploration Series takes place on October 11th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Crevlin Lounge. So thank you to them for sponsoring tonight's game.
Set the clock to 1:13. Thank you.
So the clock will be set to 1:13. After a timeout was taken by the Lancers, that was their final timeout. So correction on me, I said it was a Raiders timeout when in fact it is a Lancer
Clock
timeout.
operator, please set the clock to 1:13.
The referee's asking to reset the clock to 1:13. Is now at a 2nd and 9. On that first play, what it seems like is that they'll just be looking to run the ball out and just waste as much clock as possible. A handoff to number 1, Isaac Glover. A gain of nothing. In fact, he might have lost 1 yard.
Glover on the carry.
So Glover on the carry, but a timeout is taken.
Loss of 1 on the play. Tackles on the play. By number 11, Luis Ortiz, and number 13, Daniel Pierce. A timeout called by Moorpark.
So a timeout called by Moorpark. And now to go back to what I was talking about of what PCC has to do on this drive, I would say taking that timeout there at the beginning was a bad move on their part. They should have just let the clock run, as they're now stay with the 3rd and 10. So a 3rd and 10 from the 30-yard line. It doesn't seem like there's really much of a chance to do anything here. And now that you've given the Raiders an extra timeout with calling your own, you've allowed for the clock to stay at where it is, which is at 1:08. And now if you don't convert here, you're going to give the ball right back to the Raiders offense. The snap here to Doolittle, looking to throw, throws it out right to Jason Sanford, who has room to run. He has a blocker in front of him, and a big gain for the Lancers as he crosses the midfield mark and is taken down around the 46. The clock continues to run and is at 58 seconds. The Lancers line up to quickly run the ball. So a big gain, setting up a 1st down, 1st and 10. Doolittle takes that one, hands it off, but nowhere to go. And a big tackle on that play.
Carry by number 1, Isaac Glover.
Carry by Isaac Glover.
Correction, the carry by number 0, Joaquin Elliott.
Sorry, a carry by number 0, Joaquin Elliott. He's taken down by number 11, Luis Ortiz.
Timeout, Pasadena. This is their 3rd and final timeout. Clock operator, 42
And
seconds.
Pasadena takes the timeout. As we look back at this play, they're running the ball, which is a curious decision
No gain on the play.
to be made after a big gain on the throw to Sanford. They gain a large chunk of yards. In fact, there's a 22-yard pass and catch to set them up on the opposite side of the 50. And PCC takes their final timeout, so Moorpark, in fact, has taken 2, and PCC has just taken their 1st. So my correction on that, and the Raiders have no timeouts left is what it seems should be. Now both teams without timeouts. Doolittle, the snap. Takes that one, looking to throw. Chucks it up to the right side. That is number 4, Kenneth Russell, who takes that one down around the 20-yard line. A big catch and grab, but the clock will continue to roll, as I don't believe he got out of bounds. Now Doolittle just spikes that one down to stop the clock at 31 seconds. So as we look at that play, a big pass and catch from Doolittle to number 4, Kenneth Russell, and that sets him up
At the Moorpark 17.
with a 2nd down at the Moorpark 17. So a 31-yard pass and catch by the Lancers offense. 2 big plays to bring him down to the 17-yard line. Doolittle takes the snap, looking to throw, throws it to the left side, but incomplete. It's now a 3rd and 10 after that incomplete pass. They have marched in the field at great pace. 2 huge plays, a 22-yard gain from from Doolittle to Sanford, and then a 31-yard play from Doolittle to Russell. And that's got him down to the 17. The snap to Doolittle, looking to throw again, throws it out right, just through the hands of the wide receiver. Doolittle pass intended for number 21, Sanford, their go-to target, but it falls incomplete, and so now the Lancers will look to kick a field goal. As number 94, Justin Vergara, comes out on the field to kick this one through the uprights. The hold and the kick, and that one is wide left, says the referee. So the score will remain 10-7 with 14 seconds remaining. That one had the distance, but the accuracy was just not there. It was just left. Looked like it might have gone in, but in fact did not. So the score remains at 10-7. 14 seconds remaining. So now the Raiders will regain possession around the 20-yard line. With 14 seconds left and the clock going to be rolling. Let's see what they do. And it looks like they've set up to just kneel the ball and end the first half. So a kneel by the Raiders. And that'll be the end of the first half. So with the score of 10-7, as the clock hits 0, the first half comes to a close. It is now 10-7. The Lancers hold the lead of 3 points.
Moorpark 7.
And so now, once again, we'd like to have a special thanks to our sponsors at Doghouse. Our PCC broadcasting crew sends out a big thank you to our food sponsor, Doghouse Pasadena, the quarter of Hill and Union. For craft casual gourmet hot dogs, sausages, and burgers, check out Doghouse in Pasadena. And a big thanks to another sponsor, at Black Family Reunion. What are you doing tomorrow? How about joining us right here for Pasadena City College's Black Family Reunion, a family-centered event for past, present, and future Black Lancers. Join us for food, live entertainment, and an activity and resource fair so you can see how PCC can help support your access. And better news yet, admission is completely free. So join us on Saturday, October 1st, 2 to 7 p.m. So thank you, Black Family Reunion, for the sponsor tonight. So now as we come to halftime, let's take a great look at the PCC marching band, and we will join you all after tonight's performance.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. The Pasadena City College Music Department is proud to present for your halftime entertainment the tradition of excellence, the Pasadena City College Lancer Marching Band and Color Guard. The band is sponsored by the Performing and Communication Arts Division of Pasadena City College, the PCC Foundation, Stanberry Uniforms, Yamaha Drums, Silton, Evans Drum Heads, and Innovative Sticks of Melons.
Looks like he's got more power on that.
Tonight, under the field commander, Drum Major Salvador Quinones will share just a snippet of this year's field show that will be performed throughout the Southern California landscape in the coming months. Lancer Marching Band, you will now be known as L&B Special Forces. The Secretary has invoked Operation Performance and is a task that involves challenging maneuvers, exotic locations, and precision. As usual, if you should fail your mission, the L&B Director will disavow any knowledge of or responsibility for your actions. Good luck. Your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to light the fuse.
That's why I did it. Because I texted him a couple times.
That just be a separate document. Could be. So you just have to add those up. Yeah. However you want to count. So there have been no payments on the original one?
I drove my trash away today.
Once again, L&B, good luck. Your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to light the fuse. Retrieve the asset and perform a great Latin jazz number without compromising the mission objective. Welcome to Havana. Again, that was just a snippet of this year's field show that will be performed throughout the Southern California landscape in the next couple of months. We'll be sharing more of this year's show. In fact, make sure you join us October 22nd as we perform more of the show. Our performance continues now with the song that put the Jackson 5 on the map, as it was their first #1 record.
That's how you know. Go. So like half your students show up to school? Literally, we were missing more than 100 on Monday and Tuesday. Wow. You guys are like 560. Wow.
This is I Want You Back. Kyle Luck, Assistant Director, Percussion Instructor Tad Carpenter, Band Manager is Haley Villarreal, Uniform Manager Elizabeth Galvez, Equipment Manager J.D. Harvell, Administrative Assistant Sydney Kramer, Social Media Fernando Peralta, Historian Carter Miller, Percussion Staff Aaron Bond, J. Fernando Diaz, Dimitri McLean, and S.A. Hall, Color Guard Staff Dr. Deborah Seeley, Enrique Miramontes Jr., and Leslie Valier. Visual Support Staff Esteban De Leon, Jonathan Kent, Brad De La Garza, and Jorge Melendez Avela. Division Dean is Dr. Solomon Cross. For the Tradition of Excellence, I'm Clark Mason. Thank you.
Where do we have the ice on his
No way
leg?
of knowing. They didn't.
So I go, okay, just come home.
They didn't like.
Guys. To the second half of the PCC versus Moorpark game. It has been a great half so far, 10-7. And we are excited to get this one underway. Hi, I'm Daniel Peters, back again for the second half of this game. And now we're going to throw it to one of our sponsors tonight, which is Doghouse. So our PCC broadcasting crew sends out a big thank you to our food sponsor, Doghouse Pasadena, at the corner of Hill and Union. For craft casual gourmet hot dogs, sausages, and burgers, check out Doghouse Pasadena. So after a great first half by the Lancers, we're excited to get this one away as we look back at some of the first half highlights of tonight's matchup. As we look at here, the PCC offense got off strong with Doolittle coming in to replace the injured Arnaud. He started off quick and fast and really set the tempo. Now we obviously hope that Arnaud is okay, but we do have trust and faith in Doolittle, as he's been phenomenal. As you see him here rolling around, able to evade defenders coming in, getting the ball off, and coming in strong. So far, Doolittle, on little time he's had tonight, he's 2 for 5 with 53 yards. And as we see Moorpark has also been phenomenal. They've played the game pretty well with their quarterback, McLeod Crowton, 9 for 12, 85 yards, and 1 touchdown. As you see here, they've relied on the short game, throwing out to running backs out of the backfield. That's been a main reason for their offensive gains and inclusion into this game. As we see another play, but this time being stopped by the formidable PCC defense, which has also had a great first half. They allowed 0 points for the most part up until roughly the very end. I mean, 7 points in one half for any defense is great, as we see the touchdown throw for the Raiders. But now we see here more plays by the PCC offense, which has been great so far. They're rushing, they're throwing, and a big play here on the last drive. That was to Jason Sanford. And here's another big play by Jason Sanford, whose name has just been called so much in tonight's game. A little running play, all for a short game. But here's the big throw to Kenneth Russell that got the Lancers down the field in the last minute of the game, set up a field goal try. Sadly, they missed it, but it set up a good attempt, and that was a pass intended for Sanford for the end zone. It was incomplete. And after this, they went on to kick the field goal, but they sadly missed. But here we are with the statistics at halftime. The score is 10-7. Total yards for PCC 232 with 160 passing yards, 72 rushing yards. They're 6 for 10 in third down conversions. And a great stat to have is 0 penalties. Whereas Moorpark, they've had 2 penalties for 10 yards. Both have been false starts. And so now here we are. The second half comes to a start with this kickoff. A 10-7 score and a pooch kick to the left side. That'll be received by number 0, Joaquin Elliott, but he fumbles the ball. And we'll see who gains possession here. A kickoff return ball. Joaquin Elliott goes all the way to the 50, but the ball is forced out and is recovered by Moorpark. So as I was saying earlier in the game, turnovers have got to be at a minimum. Now that is their first one of the game, better than last week where they had 4 in the first half alone, but that comes at a very bad time, giving the ball back right away to the Raiders offense. So they've basically started each half off now with the ball, thanks to a poor fumble by the Lancers, but a lot of trust by the coaching staff for this Lancers defense as a timeout is taken by Moorpark right away, which is an interesting decision. They haven't even run a play yet. There's only been 2 seconds into the second half and already 1 timeout called. So an interesting decision. Let's see what they have to say in the huddle, and let's see what they decide to do now. Going back to the first half, it was pretty good for the Lancers so far. And Anthony Arnaud, before coming out due to injury, was 12 for 17 with 107 passing yards with 1 touchdown. Doolittle came in, like I said, 2 for 5, 53 yards. A great backup quarterback. And their leading receiver so far is Oscar Willis. 3 receptions, 62 yards. His longest one was that 49-yard long touchdown that put the Lancers up 10-0, but then Moorpark bounced back, scored on a long 23-yard passing touchdown themselves to bring the Lancer lead down to 3. It's now 10-7. 14:53 on the clock. And now, really, the second half gets off to its official start with the first offensive play being run and a handoff to the left side. That goes nowhere. The PCC defense stuffs that one for a loss. Number 5, Mark Anderson III, one of the captains of this PCC defense, stops that one for a big loss. And that'll set up a 2nd and 15.
2nd and 16 for Moorpark from the 39.
So 2nd and 16 from the 39-yard line. Going the wrong direction. The snap. The throw to the left side. Great coverage. Nowhere to go. The referee's letting him play that one out. That was number 33, Jake Vickers, on the stop there. Great coverage on his end. That was intended for number 14, Alexander Kapka-Jones. But 33, Drake Vickers says no, 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 and that brings up a 3rd and 16. So this second half, a rough start on both sides, a fumble by the Lancers, and now the Raiders faced with the long 3rd down. The snap to Crowden looking to throw. Throws to the right side, but nowhere to go. Overthrown. Pass intended for number 8, Braden Robinson. But that one falls incomplete, so the defense for the Lancers comes in clutch after a turnover and holds them to a 3-and-out. A great tackle for loss. Great tackle for loss by number 5, Mark Anderson III, and that set up very tough attempts for the Raiders offense. But now here comes the punt. Number 0, Joaquin Elliott back to receive. So let's see if he's able to get something here. The punt, a high snap over the head of the punter. And the Lancers special team picks it up. And they fall on top of it around the 10-yard line. A scuffle for the ball. It should be Lancers. They had plenty of guys around. And the referee states a 1st down for the Pasadena Lancers. A high mishap, a high snap on the punt team. And a Lancers player able to get on top of it, and it'll be first and goal. So fumble recovered by Pasadena, and it'll set up the PCC offense in tremendous field position. So now 2 special team mishaps by either side. A fumble by PCC on the kickoff return, and now a bad snap on the Raiders punt team. And so now that sets up a 1st and goal from the 10-yard line. Doolittle takes the snap, hands it off. An option play, pitches it back. That one was Ivan Osri who received the pitch back, and that he is pushed out of bounds at around the 5-yard line. Ran out of bounds by Daniel Pierce. He's a phenomenal defensive player for the Raiders. He has 21 tackles, so leads the team, 7 assists, and he also leads the team with 2 interceptions. So he's a guy to watch as we see a replay. Man put in motion, Doodle takes snap. Another option play. Decides not to pitch it, cups it back up the middle, but nowhere to go, and penalty markers fly. So let's see if this is on the tackle. See what this penalty marker is all about. But Doolittle shaken up on the play. That is not what you want to see. So an injury timeout, and now that is the Lancers' 2nd quarterback to go down. So we never like to see that. Let's hope he can get up and walk off the field under his own volition. Not what the Lancers coaching staff or anybody wants to see in regards to an injured player. Now, this is a bit of a stretch, but a guy who can easily take over at the quarterback position is wide receiver number 14, Ivan Ostry, if we see if he goes in. But they might try to keep him at wide receiver. A little bit of history about Ivan Ostry. He was at Rosemead. He transferred over to La Cañada. He played running back, defensive back, wide receiver, and he was a quarterback. And he's actually pretty darn good at all four positions. He was the #1 rushing quarterback in all of California in 2019, so he's definitely a vital option to possibly come in. But let's hope Doolittle's able to get up and he's okay. But we see number 11, Wyatt Oak, who's also a backup quarterback, and looks like he's going to be the choice instead of Ostry. So Wyatt Oak, a 6'2 freshman, 200 pounds, from West Covina. But good news for Lancer fans, Doolittle's walking off the field with no help at all, so let's hope he's able to get back into the field, into the game quickly.
Illegal substitution on the defense, 12 men on the field. The penalty being forced half the distance, replay, second down.
So, if you've forgotten due to the long timeout because of an injury, there was a penalty marker, and it was an illegal substitution. 12 men on the field for the Raiders. And now it'll be a repeat of second down. The ball is placed half the distance to the goal. So it'll be second and goal from the 2-yard line. Second and goal from the Moorpark 3-yard line. And the Lancers looking to punch it in. Just like I guessed, Ivan Ostry's in the backfield. Look for some wildcat. He's going to run the ball into the right side. Touchdown, Lancers! Pasadena gets it in. And they will move their lead now to 16-7. Ivan Ostry comes in for an injured Doolittle. Wildcat formation, rushes it into the right side with tremendous blocking by number 1, Isaac Glover. Punches it in for a rushing touchdown. And now Nathaniel Palacios will hold this one for Justin Vergara. The snap, the hold, the kick, and it's good. So the Lancers extend their lead now, 17-7, 13:01 remaining in the third quarter. Penalty markers are on the field. It looks like a Raiders player might have been offside, and he was, but they will decline in favor of the PAT. As we take a look at Doolittle, who is on the sideline standing, looking good. Let's hope he's able to get back into the game as soon as possible, but we'll see. He's relaxing. He's not doing anything too crazy, and he's going to get a little bit of a break with the Lancers defense now coming out. So let's hope that he comes back. But now we take a look. PCC kicking it back off to the Raiders after a 3-yard rushing touchdown by Ostry, who came in at the quarterback position. It was a wildcat formation.
Vergara making the kickoff for the Lancers.
So Justin Vergara taking the kickoff. (17-7, 13:01 left in the third quarter. The kickoff, the pooch kick to the right side. A fair catch is called by number 5, Brian Skurlock, and the Raiders will take that one at around the 25-yard line.
The fair catch of number 5, Brian Skurlock.
So now the PCC defense comes back out.
Takes possession, 1st and 10 of the Raiders' 25-yard line.
They've been good so far, has held the Raiders offense to only 7 points. The leading tackler in the first half was Osvaldo Ragosa with three solo tackles. The sack leader has been Jalen McGee, who has 2 sacks on the game with a loss of 7 yards in total. He also has 3 tackles for loss. with a total of 10 yards lost. So some great players as we see a little bit of a conversation happening between referees.
The player fair caught the ball inside the 25. The ball was placed on the 25, first and 10.
So it was a fair catch on the kickoff around the 25. It gets marked at the 25. So now the Raiders offense comes out looking to respond to a PCC touchdown. Man put in motion. That's number 1, Blake Bartas. And the snap and a handoff up the middle, but really nowhere to go. The Lancers defensive line swarms to that one and clogs up the lanes for a gain of little.
The carry by number 21, Gabe Landless. Brian Payne, along with number 56, Luis Canales on the tackle. Brings up a second down for Moorpark.
That brings up a second down from the 27, so 2nd and 8. The snap a little bit high, hands it off up the middle, but once again, nowhere to go. So brings up a 3rd down. PCC defense holding strong. One of the men in on the play, number 44, one of the captains, Michelangelo Loretto. And now a 3rd down from the 29. 3rd and 6. Looking to respond. The snap. Under pressure. And he will be taken down by the Lancers. A sack for number 24, Carlos Ramirez. Carlos Ramirez, one of those guys you have to look out for. He's one of the leaders on this defense for sacks. But sadly, number 44, Michelangelo Loretto, the captain of this defense, is down right now. So let's see. Answer this one, but Carlos Ramirez sacks for his 5th sack of the season. One of the leaders in sacks on this defense. Another player is down for the Lancers. So let's hope this is nothing serious and he's able to get back up. So a string of injured players for the Lancers right now. Not looking too good. But let's hope he's able to get back up. But right now we are going to plug an event happening on the PCC campus for Black Family Reunion. So what are you doing tomorrow? How about joining us right here for Pasadena City College's Black Family Reunion, a family-centered event for past, present, and future Black Lancers. Join us for food, live entertainment, and an activity and resource fair so you can see how PCC can help support your success. And better yet, access and admission is free. So join us on Saturday, October 1st from 2 to 7 p.m. for Black Family Reunion. And now play will resume after an injury timeout from Michelangelo Loretto, who is down on the play. But he comes off the field, heading over. But a punt. Back and a fair catch called. Fair catch by number 0, Joaquin Elliott. So now Lancers regain the ball at the 39-yard line. A 39-yard punt, flips field position. And now let's see what this Lancers offense can do. From what it looks like, Jacob Doolittle is back out there, so great to see him running back on the field. So he will regain control of this PCC offense after going down due to an injury. Man put in motion, takes a snap, hands the ball off to the right side. That one's Ivan Ostry, who scored the previous touchdown for the Lancer, and he's taken down at around the 48. Penalty marker is on the field, however.
Offense, number 4. 10-yard penalty from the spot, repeat, first down.
So a holding penalty on Kenneth Russell on the previous play, and that'll bring the ball back. It'll now be 1st and 10 from the 30-yard line. Or excuse me, roughly 1st and, say, 18. So roughly 1st and 18 from the 30. The snap, a handoff up the middle, but really nowhere to go. Some extracurriculars happening down there with some players. A gain of about 1 yard, so now be 2nd and 18.
Carry by number 1, Isaac Glover. Tackles on the play by number 13, Daniel Pierce, along with number 43, Christian.
Daniel Pierce on the tackle. And a name you hear a lot for the Moorpark Raiders on the defensive side. Like I said earlier, he leads the team in tackles with 21 and also interceptions with 2. Man put in motion. A low snap on the ground. Doolittle picks it up, chucks it down the field. That one is in the hands of a Moorpark defender and an interception. So just a series of unfortunate events. That one is intercepted by number 22, C.J. Jackson from Fountain Fort Carson High. So just a series of unfortunate events. A bad snap that rolled on the ground. Doolittle picked it up, tried to do something with it,
The interception gives Moorpark the
but
ball.
it just lands in the hands of the Raiders. So now here comes the PCC defense looking to get another stop. Some momentum swinging here with the Moorpark Raiders getting a quick turnover. So that's now 2 turnovers in the second half alone after 0 in the first half. The snap, the throw to the right side is incomplete.
McLeod Crowton's pass, intended for number 9, Cameron Davis, is incomplete.
So Crowden's pass intended for Cameron Davis is incomplete. Will bring up a 2nd and 10 from the 35-yard line. 17-7, the Lancers leading with 10:04 remaining in the third quarter. Crowden takes a snap, looking to throw. Hits number 1, Blake Petaris, but really nowhere to go as PCC defenders swarm to that one.
Crowton's pass completed to number 1, Blake Petaris.
Number 32, Jordan Monroe, another captain of the PCC defense, in there on the stop.
5 yards on the catch.
Jordan Monroe has been great, 12 tackles, 7 assists, 1.5 sacks, and 5 tackles for loss. Another guy to look out for, a captain of this defense. And now a 3rd and 5 from the 40-yard line. Man put in motion. The snap, looking to throw to the left side, gets it up there. Incomplete, a big hit on number 14, Alexandra Kapka-Jones. Was absolutely decked. Number 3, another captain for the defense, Osvaldo Ragosa in there to land a big punch on the leading receiver for the Raiders. And that'll bring up a 4th down. Probably the biggest hit you'll see of tonight. Here's the punt. The snap is good this time. He's able to get it off. Ivan Ostry back to receive the ball. He gets out at the 20-yard line. He's going up the field. Changes sides of the field. Able to evade a defender. Still on his feet around the 35. Finally out of bounds at the 39-yard line after a great punt return.
From the 15-yard line. Tackled out of bounds by number 29, Andrew Tilson.
Tackled out of bounds by Andrew Tilson. But a great return. Takes that one in at around the 15 and just able to go across the entire field and take that one all the way
25-yard
to the 40-yard line. A 25-yard return for Ivan Ostry. He could just do it all. He was in the Wildcat formation earlier in this half. Scored a touchdown. He scored the previous Lancers touchdown, and now he's returning the punt for 25 yards. So now Lancers offense takes a snap at the 40-yard line, hands the ball up the middle, little room to run. That one's Isaac Glover, takes that one all the way down, flips the field to the 49-yard line of the Raiders. So now the offense, after an interception on their previous drive, moving the ball with Isaac Glover at the center. Daniel Pierce once again in on a tackle for the Raiders. Name being called a lot tonight. But the snap, the handoff. But this time, Moorpark was ready for it, and a loss of yardage on that one. Isaac Glover not able to find any holes as pressure was brought. So a loss of about 4 yards. Number 91, Robert Ruggiero in on the tackle, coming out of Calabasas High School. And he's in there for the tackle for loss. Now 2nd and 13 from the 48-yard line. Another handoff to the right side. That one is Isaac Glover again, able to find a hole, gets to the outside. Continues going, mowing his way through defenders, refusing to go down. Brought down around the 25, but sadly a penalty marker is on the field. A holding penalty by number 77, Guadalupe Cedillo, on the offense, and that brings this amazing play by Glover all the way back. Just look at him plowing through defenders. That is the type of strength that we need in somebody. He's their leading rusher, 40 attempts, 158 yards, 39.5 yards per game with 4 touchdowns. He's one of the leaders in touchdowns on this offense, but sadly, that big game is all for naught after a holding penalty on big man number 77, Guadalupe Cedillo. But it's okay. If you can do it once, you can do it again. But the Lancers are facing a big hill to climb. Ball is spotted on the 37-yard line. The snap. Another rushing play to the left side, but nowhere to go. Brought back behind the line of scrimmage. It was 2nd and 24. It'll now be roughly 3rd.
He's brought down by number 34, Ty Eli, along with number 91.
They're on 3rd and 27 we're looking at. So a very, very big hill to climb. Let's see what the Lancers call here. Just looking if they draw up anything special here for this long 3rd down. Or maybe they play it safe and just run the ball. Man put in motion, takes it, hands it off again, but nowhere to go. Brought down, that'll bring up 4th down for the Lancers, so they decide to play it safe. And they will be punting the ball back to Moorpark. Number 96, Nate Sanchez, who has been their go-to punter this season.
Brings up a 4th down. Nate Sanchez now punting for the Lancers.
He's in there, gets the punt off, flips field position. And the ball is caught. He's whistled dead. A little confusion on whether or not there was a fair catch called, as a PCC returner ran into him as well, but no penalties on the field.
Called by number 13, Daniel Pierce.
So even though there was a fair catch called, a Lancers player ran into him, but no penalty was called, and then he continued running, so confusion on that play and whether or not a fair catch was actually called. So let's see what the referees decide to do.
Delay of game on the offense, running after the fair catch. 5-yard
Shoot
penalty,
out.
first and 10.
So I'm thinking he's like, coach is like, you gotta look and see.
So because the Moorpark player ran with the ball after the fair catch, it is a delay of game, and they will be moved back 5 yards. Moorpark coach having a little talk with the referees, not happy about that one, a little confused probably, as we all kind of were with that play. Moorpark coach just settling down and giving in, accepting the fact that that was a penalty. Now the referee's trying to figure out the chain gain. It should be a 1st and 15. The chains do seem to be wrong on the opposite side, but we'll let that go. It's 1st and 15. A passing play and up the middle, but incomplete. Crowden's pass intended for number 86. Terrence Jones incomplete, so that brings up a second and 10, when in fact it really should be a 2nd and 15, I believe, with the delay of game penalty. So just confusion all around at the beginning of this drive. We'll figure it out together. So 2nd and 10, the snap, Crowden looks to throw, incomplete, almost intercepted. Intended for Blake Batars, number 1, is broken up by number 35, Arthur Orcastas, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 10.
3rd down for the Raiders.
So 3rd down for the Raiders. Some hard counts there, looking to draw the defense offside, but no luck there. Fans making some noise right now. The snap, looking to throw, under pressure, taken down. And the Lancers defense swarms the quarterback. Number 98, Roland Huskis, in there to record a sack.
By the Lancers, number 8, Roland Kea Rodriguez.
Number 98, Roland Huskis. And number 8, Roland Kea Rodriguez, in there to record a sack and bring up a 4th down. So great defensive effort by both those gentlemen. And a punt now, close to being blocked. And Joaquin Elliott will just call a fair catch.
Fair catch called by the Lancers, number 0, Joaquin Elliott.
And the PCC offense will take the ball at around the 40-yard line.
36-yard punt for Johnson.
This defense is just playing phenomenally. Just all around amazing stuff. Kea Rodriguez, he has 1 sack. Jalen McGee has 2. Carlos Ramirez has 1. So they've put a lot of pressure on the Raiders quarterback. But now the PCC offense takes the field, looking to extend their lead. A shovel pass to Ivan Ostri, going up the left side, finding some room to run, but just gets back to the original line of scrimmage. So really nothing going there.
Shovel pass. Jacob Doolittle to number 14, Ivan Ostri. Tackle by number 13, Daniel Pierce.
So tackled by, again, Daniel Pierce in there.
No gain on the pass. It brings up a 2nd and 10 from the 40.
So Daniel Pierce on this game has 10 total tackles, 6 solos, 4 assists. He is just destroying this game entirely on the defensive side, really causing a problem. PCC offense lining up again. Ivan Ostri in motion. A fake shovel pass this time. And a handoff to number 0, Joaquin Elliott, who gains about half the yards. And it'll be a 3rd and
Carry by number 0, Joaquin Elliott.
5.
Tackle by number 91, Robert Rogero. Brings up a 3rd down for the Lancers from the 45, a 5-yard carry for Elliott.
A 5-yard carry for Joaquin Elliott. He's done well this game. One of the leading rushers for this Lancers offense. Austria put in motion again, a fake shovel pass and handoff to Elliott once again, but this time not able to find the luck he had before. Taken down for about a gain of 2. And that'll bring up 4th down. Injured player on the field again. But this time it does seem to be for the Raiders.
The last carry by Elliott.
So that player goes down with 3:09 remaining in the 3rd quarter, score of 17-7. Now with him down, let's hope he's okay first and foremost. Now the Lancers kind of have a chance to think about this next one. It's a 4th and 3 from their own 47. So an interesting position to have. We'll see what they decide to do. Their defense has been great. They have the room to possibly go for it right now. So something about these two teams and their competitions. They only have there's a 3-6 record between these two teams. Lancers have won 3, Moorpark has won 6. Really not a lot of games between these two compared to a lot of other games. And Lancers looking to make that record now 4-6. Their last win was all the way back in 2009. When they played on Halloween night. Moorpark player is still down. Now if we do take a look now at the Lancers, at the rest of Lancers season. After tonight's game against Moorpark, they do not play next weekend. There's a bye week. They come back on the 15th of October, an away game against Desert College. And their only home game of the month of October will be Saturday the 22nd against Grossmont. Grossmont's a team that the Raiders have played, and Moorpark did beat Grossmont last week. But now the PCC offense comes back out on a 4th and 3. Some hard counts looking to draw them offside. And a timeout will be called by the Lancers.
Timeout, Pasadena.
So the offense.
Now punting for the Lancers will be number 96, Nate Sanchez.
No. So the Lancers offense came out to just try and draw the defense off sides, but they had no success. So the punt team does eventually come out. Nate Sanchez gets the snap, punts it off a line drive, bounces into the hands of the returner, has a little room to run, and gets up at around the 40-yard line. Some extracurriculars happening down there on the field. Some aggression being shown by both sides. The adrenaline's pumping. It's a good game right now. It's been a tough fought one for sure. So a punt return to my number 13, Daniel Pierce, who is the phenomenal defensive player from Moorpark, takes that punt return for roughly about 13 yards.
A return of 16 yards, Moorpark ball 1st and 10 from the 40.
2 weeks on the desert.
Sanchez credited with a 39-yard punt.
So now Moorpark takes the snap, hands it off up the middle. Gains a few yards on the play.
Carry by number 9, Cameron Davis, tackles on the play.
Carry by number 9, Cameron Davis.
Along with number 67, Richard Quiros.
A gain of about 3. So that'll bring second and 7. Number 21's put in motion. Ground takes snap, finds number 1, Blake Batars, opened on the field, and that'll be enough for a Moorpark first down. So they found a groove now. They're moving the ball, and they're going hurry-up offense, not giving the defense a break. Crown takes a snap, throws it out to the right side. Evades a tackle and gets all the way down to the 23-yard line. That's number 19, River Stout, on the play. And Moorpark rushing to the line of scrimmage. Let's see if the Lancers can get this sub off the field. They're trying to figure it out. Cecil Aka on the previous tackle, but now Crown takes a snap, hands it off, nowhere to go. Number 21, Gabe Landless, is swallowed in the backfield for a loss of yardage.
The carry by number 21, Gabe Landless, tackle behind the line of scrimmage by number 24, Carlos Ramirez.
So Carlos Ramirez on that tackle for loss, a loss of 2. 2nd and 12. Bend but don't break. They're being put in a tough position. Blake Batars being put in motion. Crown takes the snap. Looking to throw. Chucks it up to the right side. Defender's there. Intercepted by the defense. In the end zone. That's number 33. Drake Vickers from the interception to stop this Marauders drive in its tracks. Crown threw that one up in the double coverage, a poor position, and Drake Vickers just there to corral that one in the end zone. And now the PCC offense will take the ball at the 20-yard line.
First and 10 from the 20.
So now here come the offense, who have put up 17 points so far. There's 58 seconds left in the third quarter. Score of 17-7. The snap, handoff to the left side. Number 1, Isaac Glover, able to get a decent amount of yards on that play. That'll set up a 2nd and 6.
4 yards on the carry. 2nd and 6 for Pasadena at the 24.
So here comes the 2nd and 6. Clock winding down at 25 seconds for the third quarter. Doolittle takes a snap. Fake handoff, rolling out to the right, looking to run, but just heads out of bounds for a gain of about 1 yard.
Jacob Doolittle on the keeper. Run out of bounds by number 22, C.J. Jackson.
So Doolittle on the keeper.
Gain of 2 on the play.
He's been a pretty good rushing threat. Him and Arnaud are both good rushing threats. They're able to really spread the ball around with quarterbacks taking the ball out of the backfield themselves. But that will be the end of the third quarter. Score of 17-7. Put your 4s up, ladies and gentlemen. 15 minutes remain in this game. The Lancers looking to take this victory and extend to 3-2. Let's see what they have in store for us for the fourth quarter. Now, as we take this little break between quarters, I would just like to share a story about a gentleman who has been renowned in PCC sports, UCLA sports, Major League Baseball sports for generations, and continues to make an impact. None other than Jackie Robinson, who this stadium is named after. So he's someone that we should really mention. But before then, we'd just like to mention a study abroad program that's taking place here at PCC. So Lancers, we're excited to have you back on campus, but honestly, don't you just want to get away? Well, now you can again. PCC Study Abroad is back, and they're going to Oxford, England, and so can you. See the world and immerse yourself in a new culture during an educational experience that you will never forget. For the best semester of your life, study abroad with PCC. Oxford, England is the destination for spring 2023. Or back, the Lancers offense takes that one. Hand up the middle, nowhere to really go, and it'll bring up a 4th down. So 4th down is being brought. So going back to who I was talking about, as we have a little time between here, Jackie Robinson is something you really have to know and love if you're a Pasadenian. He was from here, he grew up here, went to PCC for his education. As here's the punt. Booted off. Daniel Pierce returns that one. Taken down around the 40-yard line. He's fighting. Taken down eventually at around the 40-yard line. So Jackie Robinson, he's best known for breaking Major League Baseball's color barrier, but he also had a tremendous and glory-filled athletic career at PCC. He joined PCC back then. In fact, it wasn't PCC, it was actually Pasadena Junior College, so PJC. He joined it in 1937 and immediately found his place in PCC athletics. He joined football, baseball, basketball, and track and field, and was a superstar at all 4 of them. As the Raiders line up here to take the snap, some pressure looking to be brought. They do a handoff to the left side, a gain of little. So he was a superstar, Jackie was, at football, baseball, basketball, track and field. And he broke and set multiple records. So he set the record for the longest run from scrimmage, which is 99 yards. That can and will never be broken. As the Raiders, Moorpark Raiders, are doing a little bit of a hurry-up offense. Man put in motion to the right side. Looking to throw the ball, a screen pass, but really nowhere to go. Great defensive stop. Able to track down the screen play, and that'll bring up 3rd down. So that pass was completed to number 9, Cameron Davis, but really nowhere to go. So now, a 3rd and 8 for Moorpark. Crown looking to throw. He has to roll out right, a little bit of pressure. Just low, not able to find his guy. Looking for number 6, Arkeles Johnson. But now that'll bring up 4th down. And as we transfer guys, I'll head back to the Jackie Robinson story. Keep having to take a little break, but he set the record for the longest run from scrimmage, which is 99 yards. That can and will never be broken, since that's the longest run you can do.
Number 49, Tony Johnson.
He also held records for most touchdowns and most points in a season, as that one gets kicked off. So he held records for most touchdowns and points in a season, and so both were broken by Jonathan Smith in 2001, as that one is touchdown around the 11-yard line. So the PCC offense will take control once again, looking to take a bigger lead in this game. So those are both broke by Jonathan Smith in 2001. But another record he also set was he also broke his own older brother Mac Robinson's National Community College record for longest broad jump at 25 feet 6.5 inches. So we were talking about football, and now we see his track and field influence and how well he did there. As well as records, he also earned numerous awards, one being Most Valuable Player in Baseball in 1938 for PCC, and obviously he's most known for his baseball career. Lancers offense coming back here. Doolittle in the backfield, 2 running backs. An option play, decides to keep it, running out to the left side, but just goes down easily with no fight in on that one to get injured again.
brought down by number 13, Daniel Pierce.
Brought down by number 13, Daniel Pierce, once again.
From the 12.
So now a gain of about 2, it'll be 2nd and 8. So besides the records, and Robinson being named MVP in baseball in 1938, he also then went on with all those accolades to be a superstar athlete at UCLA. And he set records and made a tremendous impact at UCLA, but sadly had to get taken out of his last year due to financial issues, as that one lands incomplete after pressure was put on to Doolittle. So Robinson spent his time at UCLA, was a great athlete, but sadly had to be taken out due to financial situations and couldn't attend. But that didn't matter much, as his talents were perceived by the MLB and by baseball leagues all around the country. He went on to become one of the greatest MLB players to ever live. And he has been permanently set into history.
3rd and 8 for the Lancers from the 12.
So 3rd and 8 from the 12-yard line. A throw to the left side. That one's taken in by Isaac Glover, and will get down to the 30-yard line for a Lancers first down. So they continue to move the ball down the field, and we'll look back at this play. Just a little quick pass out to the left side to Isaac Glover coming out of the backfield, and he's able to make something out of it. Gets all the way down to roughly the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 from the 30. 11:35 left in the game.
18 yards on the pass. Lancers ball at the 30.
They've been able to waste away about a minute and a half off the clock with this possession. Ostry put into motion. Another handoff, this one to Joaquin Elliott, but he's tackled in the backfield, but able to spin around and gets back to around the original line of scrimmage. He's brought down by number 24, Michael Garibay, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Timeout official.
And so another injured player on the field.
Player for Moorpark.
This has been an injury-riddled game for both sides. Never like to see it, and we'll hope that he gets up and he's okay. So we would like to plug Thursday Noon Talks, which is another program going on. Thursday Noon Talks is a program of the galleries at PCC where visiting artists, designers, or creatives present their work and discuss how to build a creative life for yourself. Catch Rachel Allen October 6th, founder and principal architect of Radar Incorporated. She'll talk about urban planning, landscape architecture, graphic design, and fine art. October 6th in CA 101. It's part of the Noon Talk series every Thursday at noon. At noon to 1 p.m. Need a little more push? There will also be food. As snap taking a shovel pass to Ivan Ostry, but is corralled in the backfield for a loss. So I definitely recommend check out Thursday Noon Talks.
Pitch pass to number 14, Ivan Ostry.
Be able to witness Rachel Allen talk about
number 54, Amari Thomas.
her company, Radar Incorporated.
On the pass.
So now a 3rd down here for the Lancers, a 3rd and 12 from the 28-yard line. The clock winding down. It's now about to hit 10 minutes. PCC has been able to waste away about 3 minutes off the clock, so doing well. But 3rd down, a handoff to the right side, and taken down behind the line of scrimmage, nowhere to go. So that'll bring up 4th down. The ball will be given back to the Raiders. Joaquin Elliott not having any luck on that play.
Tackle by number 99, Frank Mitchell. Loss of 3 on the play. 4th
Timeout
down.
officials.
Another injured player on the field. Never like to see it, but thank goodness he's able to get up. He bounces up, walks off the fields. Exactly what we want to see. And we will resume play as normal.
Now punting for the Lancers, number 96, Nate Sanchez.
So Nate Sanchez going to be punting the ball off for the Lancers once again. Has been great this game and great in every game this season. And the Raiders have 2 returners in the backfields. That one's kicked off. Daniel Pierce will take that one, number 13. He evades tacklers and able to return the ball to the other side of the 50 up to around the 40-yard line of the Lancers. And some extracurriculars happening with a little pushing and shoving. Emotions are flying. But each side goes their separate ways and avoids conflict.
31-yard punt by Sanchez, a 15-yard return.
A 15-yard return by Pierce. It'll be 1st and 10 at the Pasadena 41. Cowan takes the snap. False starts will be called on this play as the whole offensive line moved before the ball was snapped, but they were just not able to call the play dead in time.
Number 57, 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. Clock operator, 9-11, 9-11, thank you.
Now at quarterback.
So that was one of those situations where everyone moved but the center. So a snap infraction on the center. Moved back 5 yards, now 1st and 15 from the 46-yard line. And another false start. Moved back another 5 yards, and they are just going the wrong way.
Number 65, 5-yard penalty.
That'll be called, more specifically, number 65.
Thank you, 9-11.
Number 65, Eric Tapasa, had that false start. So they have now gone back 10 yards in 2 plays. It's now 1st and 20 from now their own 49-yard line. So they got a big hill to climb. Lucky for them, it's only 1st down. Batar's in motion, takes the handoff, has a little room, stumbles, and ends up falling around the 40-yard line. So in that one play alone, the Raiders have regained all the penalty yardage back. It is now 2nd and 10 at the original line of scrimmage before a penalty.
10 yards on the pass.
Moorpark going hurry up. Lancers look like they might bring some pressure. Pressure is brought. An option play, but nowhere to go for Crown. He is taken down behind the line of scrimmage, and that will be a sack.
Carry by Johnson. He's tackled behind the line of scrimmage by number 32, Jordan Monroe.
Number 32, Jordan Monroe, one of the captains of this PCC defense, in there for the sack.
5 yards on the loss.
And it'll be a 5-yard loss, so it now brings up a 3rd and 15.
PCC 46.
We just look here, the pressure was brought and just a poor play call. Monroe wasn't fooled at all on the trickery. And now the snap. Looking deep, throws it deep for number 1, Batars. Almost intercepted by the Lancers, but drops innocently to the ground, and that'll bring up a 4th down.
Intended for number 1, Blake Batars, broken up by number 3, Osvaldo Regosa.
So Osvaldo Regosa on the break up there.
Now punting for the Raiders, number 49, Tony Johnson.
2 players, in fact, were on the breakup. It was number 8, Roland Kea Rodriguez, who was in there as the punt is off, and that'll hit around the 10-yard line and bounce into the end zone. So nothing to worry about there for the Lancers, and the ball will be spotted at the 20-yard line.
46-yard punt into the end zone.
17-7,
So Lancers
7:48 remaining in the game.
20.
The defense stepping up when it matters, holding them to very limited yards, and the offense able to put a decent amount up on the board and see what they're able to do here. PCC offense huddling up, taking their time. And the offense coming out now. Coach Robert Tucker probably pretty happy with their team right now, especially the defense. Holding them to only 7 points as the snap is there. It's a handoff up the middle. Bounces out to the right, but not really able to get anywhere.
Joaquin Elliott on the carry. Tackle by number 54, Amari Thomas.
Joaquin Elliott on the carry, able to gain about 2 yards, so it'll be now 2nd and 8. Offense lining up 2nd and 8 from the 22-yard line. Takes a snap, hands it off up the middle. This time a little bit more room to run. Joaquin Elliott takes that one for a bigger gain than last time.
Carry by Elliott. The tackles, 24 Michael Garibay, and number 34, Ty Eli.
It'll now be around a 3rd and 3, it seems. So a 3rd and 2 from the 28-yard line.
3rd down from the 27.
A fake handoff, Doolittle looking to keep it. And he's going to be close.
Doolittle on the keeper.
He's going to be very close to the marker to gain.
Back.
But looks like he's just short and up. And a 4th down will be brought up. And the punt team looks like they're going to come out with Nate Sanchez at the helm to punt the ball off back to Daniel Pierce. And now it will be up to the PCC defense to get another stop. And a messed up snap, but nobody was coming on Moorpark's side, so Sanchez able to get it off nonetheless. And now will bounce out of bounds at around the 32. So it slipped through his hands, but no one was rushing. Moorpark decided to take the play off, I guess, and Nate Sanchez was able to get the ball off anyways. So the ball lands out of bounds, 32-yard line, where Moorpark will take possession. Looking to score on this play. They got to get something going with 5:38 remaining. Not a lot of time. But this PCC defense has been tremendous, a formidable force, a brick wall. Insert saying here as a snap is taken and a quick throw incomplete. Intended for number 18, Justin Ogle.
Johnson's pass is intended for number 18, Justin Ogle. It's incomplete.
But if you have seen into the game now, I'm not sure if this has been in, he's been in for a while or if this is a new insert here, but Bennett Johnston's in the game now for Moorpark, and we'll see what he's able to do. He's been kind of their more noticeable quarterback, has more statistics as he hands the ball off up the middle. And the pile's being pushed for a gain of about 10. Helmets come off. So someone will have to sit a play out. Man down, but bounces up. Nothing to worry about. 61 has to sit out now. His helmet coming off. Gabe Landless takes the play. So Brian Johnston's now in the game. He's, like I was saying, he has more stats out of the two Moorpark quarterbacks. I'm looking at him. 50% completion rate on 70 attempts. 458 yards. 1 touchdown and 1 interception. So he comes in this game looking to make something happen. A 3rd and 7 now, looking to throw. Gets that one, chucks it up. throws it up to Alexander Kapka-Jones, but over his head, incomplete, and now a 4th down is looming. And what it looks like is Moorpark's offense will not come off the field, having to go for it with very limited time. There's only 4:56. I mean, they have all of their timeouts left, so. Excuse me, they have 2 timeouts left, so I don't know if it's really necessary here for them to go for it, but nonetheless, their offense stays out. Bennett Johnson takes a snap, looking to throw. Throws it over the head, intended for Alexander Kapka-Jones, but it's incomplete. A turnover on downs, and the Lancers will regain the ball at the 35-yard line. So now they are in a great position to really seal this game. 4:51 remaining, score of 17-7. They have the ball at the 35-yard line. Sooner or later, Moorpark's going to have to use those 2 timeouts, so we'll see if they decide to run the ball and try to get them to waste them. If they can get Moorpark to waste those 2 timeouts, I mean, that'll put them in a great position for the remaining quarter of this game. Ostry put in motion. Doolittle would decide to throw the ball. Throws it deep. That will be a scurry. We'll see what it's called. It's incomplete. Number 21, Jason Sanford, the most reliable guy, almost came down with that one. It was in between him and the defender, but it ended up just falling to the ground, and honestly, that's much better than a possible interception. So if you're a PCC fan, you might have wanted the touchdown, but at least it wasn't an interception. So
2nd and 10 for PCC from the 35.
The better of both evils, an interception via incomplete. So we'll take the incomplete. Ostry put in motion again. It looks like an option play. Pitches it to Ivan Ostry, who will be tackled in bounds, though. So the referees blowing the whistle, a timeout by Moorpark. Their 2nd timeout of the half, and to take that one because he was tackled in bounds.
Tackled by number 13, Daniel Pierce.
So although there wasn't really much of a gain there, Ostry was tackled in bounds, so the clock had to keep going, so they were forced to waste a timeout. But with the little time we have to waste, I'm going to go back to the story of Jackie Robinson. This is the guy who's the stadium's named after, or guy most notable for being here at PCC. And we've really talked about him so far in this evening, and we've talked about kind of his background in sports and what he's done, and what he's kind of been permanently set. But his history has been permanently set at PCC, UCLA, and in Major League Baseball. And we're coming back to play now, so we'll come back to the story later. Ostry was in motion, but Doolittle looking to throw under pressure, rolling out right, just looks and throws it away. So, and a little bit of pushing and shoving going on the far side of the field. Emotions flaring. Game's coming to a close, but an incomplete pass, and that stops the clock. For Moorpark, that's great. But if we can see that's bad, they should have just ran the ball. Most likely would have forced Moorpark to use their final timeout. But instead, they get to keep one, and PCC has the punt. So Nate Sanchez back there to punt the ball off. Daniel Pierce back there return and bounced at the 10-yard line and collected around the 20s. So, and some pushing and shoving happening on the field. You never want to see that. Just emotions are kind of going hot and heavy, and both sides are chirping at each other, and there's a little bit happening. SEC 27 Jalen McGee getting into it a little bit, playing some air guitar. I like to see it. They're probably happy, living the high life, up 17-7. So Moorpark takes the ball on offense at the 20-yard line. 4:14 remaining. They got one timeout. Looks like pressure will be brought, and it is. A screen play thrown to number 19, River Stout, but he's got nowhere to go. The Lancers defense swarms and holds them to no gain. Moorpark offense hurrying up. Lancer defense has got to be ready. They've got to hurry back to the line. The snap to Johnston. Throws that one at the left side. It's caught. Honestly, better that he caught it than incomplete, because that brings the clock continues to run. But now a third and about 3 yards. At the 27, Johnson takes the snap, throws it, but incomplete. He had it in his hands, but just took his eyes off the ball, and it's dropped. Capco Jones not able to hold that one, so now a big fourth down. If Moorpark does not get this, that'll be a big fault. So big fourth down here. Let's see who's able to get it. And pass is broken up. Number 32. Number 32, Jordan Monroe, one of the captains of the defense, able to knock that one down. And a turnover. A turnover on downs. The Lancers offense will regain possession. 3:23 left. They're at the 26-yard line. And this one is looking good.
The Lancers take over on downs at the Moorpark 27.
Now the offense coming back out. They're in a great position here once again. 3:23 left on the clock. Moorpark only has one timeout left. Most likely going to see a run here. Doolittle takes a snap and hands it off like I said he would. And avoiding tackles and continues rolling. That is number 1. Isaac Glover, who just rumbles and tumbles his way all the way to the 10-yard line. A 17-yard carry as we look back on the play. Look at him just breaking tackles, shrugging it off, saying, I am stronger than you. And he takes the ball down to the 10-yard line. So first and goal from the Moorpark 10. Lancers threatening. Almost like to see another run. So another handoff here. Not as much as a gain there.
Timeout, Moorpark.
And Moorpark takes their the third and final timeout. So Caleb Gardner took that handoff. His first appearance in this game. But Moorpark is forced to waste their third and final timeout. So the clock is going to continue rolling now. We'll see here. So now at this time that we have to waste, we'll go back to the story of Jacob Robinson, who I was talking about, and how he's been permanently cemented in history. He was inducted into the MLB Hall of Fame in 1962. He was inducted into the first PCC Hall of Fame class in 1961 and is a member of the PCC's Court of Champions Bus Gardens on campus. He was also inducted into the College Baseball Hall of Fame, the Community California College Athletic Association Hall of Fame, and UCLA Athletics Hall of Fame. 5 Hall of Fames he's inducted into. And obviously we all know his number 42 is retired in every single baseball team in the MLB. A pass! Touchdown! Pasadena! Number 16, Oscar Willis takes that one in. And PCC has basically set this one in stone. A Doolittle passing touchdown, his 5th on the season. And Oscar Willis 2 touchdowns in this game alone. 23-7 now is the score, 2:33 remaining. The snap, the hold, the kick, and now 24 is the score, 24-7. 2:33 left. And this one continues to get better and better for the Lancers. Just a great pass and catch by Doolittle and Oscar Willis to score another touchdown. Willis' 2nd touchdown on this game. Doolittle's 5th touchdown on the season. And now it's going to look like all celebrations here on the Lancer sideline and in the Lancer crowd. Just a tremendous game for the Lancers. This has probably been one of their most complete games on both sides, on all 3 sides. On offense, they've scored now 24 points, which is around their average for each game. On defense, they've held the Raiders to only 7. And on special teams, they've been able to really not allow many big gains, and it's been just a complete game in all 3 parts. All 3 categories, and now as we get the kickoff here to kick it back off to Moorpark, who has no timeouts left in the game. So now the kickoff. Raiders will receive that one at the 10-yard line, going out the field, and is taken down at around the 34. So like I was saying, Jackie Robinson has been inducted into 5 Hall of Fames, which is just unbelievable. But besides the Hall of Fames, also numerous stadiums have been named after him. PCC Football Stadium, the one we're in right now, is called Robinson Stadium. It's named after Jackie and his older brother, Mac. So both the Robinson brothers have this stadium named after them. PCC baseball field is named Jackie Robinson Memorial Field. As the Raiders take that one, throw it. And a new quarterback is even in for the Raiders. Luke Rasmussen, 6'2", 220 freshman out of Faith Baptist High School. So that one's complete to Jacob Monaco, knocked out of bounds. So clock stops, 2:12 left. They're going to hurry up offense. Try to make something out of here. A pass to the left side, incomplete. Rasmussen pass is incomplete. So now it'll bring up 3rd down. They could really take their time here. An incomplete pass stops the clock, but they're deciding not to huddle and just go as fast as they can. So Luke Rasmussen in the backfield takes that one, throws it out to the right side. That's number 4, Jacob Monaco. Able to secure 1st down, but tackled in bounds, so the clock's going to continue rolling. Clock is now at 1:58. Rasmussen takes the snap, throws it out right again. Jacob Monaco takes it. The same exact play as last time. Tackled in bounds once again. So that'll bring up a 2nd down.
Rasmussen's completion to Monaco. Tackles by number 98, Roland Huskis.
Roland Huskis in for the tackle. Raiders take that one, fake the screen, throws it deep. No one there, incomplete. So they faked the screen play that they've run twice in the past 2 plays and tried throwing it deep. That one intended for Jeremy Patterson, but falls incomplete. Raiders lining up again quickly. Rasmussen rolling out left, throws it. That one will be called a completed catch, but it'll bring up 4th down. So, Jackie Robinson, they have this football stadium, PCC baseball field named after him. UCLA baseball field is also named Jackie Robinson Stadium. So he's just got, I mean, the accolades and tremendous, and he's just someone that will have an impact on sports and this school. He will forever be known for his inspiration and impactful career in Major League Baseball, UCLA athletics, and here at home in PCC athletics.
Lancers take over on downs.
So that was a 4th down pass play that ended up incomplete. So a turnover on downs. And it looks like PCC will be taking this one with 1:06 left in the game. Raiders have no timeouts, so they're going to look to just run the clock out. As we see, emotions are amazing on the Lancer sideline. People dancing, people having a good time. There's 1:06 left. It's not over till it's over, but I would say in this case, 1:06 left, and they're down by a large sum. No timeouts left, so this one's pretty much over. As the Lancer offense is coming out in victory formation. Doolittle takes the snap, kneels it down. And just a couple more of those, and this game will be sealed. So they're just going to let the clock roll down as much as possible. The play clock's at 30 seconds. The game clock's at 48, so there's about an 18-second margin. As we see some dance moves being shown. That's number 21, Jason Sanford, showing him off. And now under 40 seconds. Doolittle takes the knee, and that one will be enough, and should be enough. And that one after that knee will be the end of this game as the clock continues to wind down. The Lancers will take this victory over the Moorpark Raiders. Will move the overall record between these two teams now to 4-6. And for each individual team, will move the record of the Lancers to 3-2.
And the final score.
And it'll move the Moorpark Raiders to 2-3. So 24-7 is the final score. A complete and amazing game by the Lancers. Phenomenal on all 3 parts of the game: offense, defense, special teams. And the Lancers now get to celebrate for a week, as they have a bye week next week. And their next game will be Saturday, October 15th against Desert College. Their next home game is Saturday, October 22nd against Grossmont College. So a great victory, an amazing victory, dominated this game through and through. And they all now get to put that loss to Antelope Valley behind them with the victory over Moorpark, as we look at all of the amazing fans out here tonight. All thankful for attending this game and putting PCC athletics at the forefront of your afternoon. Final of 24-7. They just led the game entirely. And the defense holding the 7 points is just phenomenal. Now with this final game and the final score of 24-7, we would just like to thank you all for tuning in to tonight's broadcast. It has been a phenomenal evening. I am Danny Peters here announcing tonight's Friday night game. And we thank you all for tuning in. And we would also like, as this last push in this game, we'd like to shout out Doghouse once more. Our PCC broadcasting crew sends out a big thank you to our food sponsor, Doghouse Pasadena, at the corner of Hill and Union, for craft casual gourmet hot dogs, sausages, and burgers. Check out Doghouse Pasadena. And I would like to thank each and every one of you for tuning in for tonight's broadcast. We will catch you all the next home game, Saturday, October 22nd against Rosemont. Thank you all for tuning in, and have a great rest of your evening.